What is the best way to get someone to stop talking to you without being rude? This is not a productive area of discussion. But in all seriousness, I used to have a coworker that would cut people telling him rumors off with "Why are you telling me this?" and it seemed to work pretty well. Not sure how rude you'd consider it, but it stopped talabaras in their tracks. It's definitely rude, but it's a good rude. Some conventions shouldn't be pandered to. Deleted. I can't believe that Price prefers McDermott's card to mine. BRB. And never BB. Dad. In the UK you slap your thighs, announce right and stand up to leave. Edit. Thank you for the gold. Why do I do that too? I'm Russian also. In England, I think I can say actually, I'm Russian and walk away. Carrot. My first pun, please be gentle. Carrot. Edit. Oh god thanks, I love you all. It's also my first awards that are not silver. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to take this. Pulls phone out of the pocket and bashes self in the forehead till parred out. You're going to have to leave because I'm going to have to pretend to take a phone call. Hello. No. They won't take the hint. If you cannot get a word in, the best thing to do is drop something which typically leads the person to stop talking, giving you a break to say that you forgot that you needed to do something. Man, with people like that I usually just throw out a man, fat swelled and turn away. Edit. It's always the comments you least expect. Man Reddit, you're wild. Sorry, can I stop you right there? And then walk away quickly. I love doing this, sorry, but can I just stop you there? They're waiting for you to say something, but you don't. My trick at the office is just keep them talking while I walk. Then we miraculously end up in their office. Then I just turn around, walk back to my office. Carrot a master clan and walk with me. My go-to. If we're talking in my office and I want to end the conversation, I get up from my desk and walk towards the door where the person is usually standing. They instinctively step back and usually take the hint and leave after a short while. I share this tip with my coworkers all the time. This has two uses. 1. Most of them love it, and some use it themselves. 2. People who can't take a hint know that when I get up and move to the door, it's time for them to give me some space. Put any random object to your ear and say hello. Oh, it's for you, then hand them the thing. Your username makes me slightly uncomfortable, sir. Get a button that is always hooked up to your phone's Bluetooth system. Pressing the button makes your phone ring. Take the call and walk away. Japanese phones used to have this on a hardware level. Pretense call. I start talking about my cats. I only have one cat, but I talk about all the cats I've had in my lifetime, and I'm in my late 50s, as if I still have them all. So, it sounds like I have about 10 cats. No matter what they say, I relate it back to a cat story. Oh, wow, that's like that time my polydactyl cat. And, this is always a permanent remedy. In Caddyshack, Chevy Chase was being bored to death by somebody, looked at his wrist, he wasn't wearing a watch, said, "I've got a thing," and walked away. Another one from a movie was, "I just remembered something. You're boring and my legs work." 2 top-notch escape strategies. Are you the other half of my brain? Because this is totally my go-to move. Plus I show pictures. Just interrupt them and start talking about your thimble collection. This is no thimble. This is Turkish nipple armor. Make a promise for a future conversation. I gotta finish up this, but hey, send me a link to that thing we were talking about, or that's cool, man. Hey, I gotta get back to work. Let me know when you beat that level. I agree with this. The only downside to it is that you can end up leading somebody on and making them think you're actually more interested. Sometimes people will be like, oh, they want to be my friend, which might not be true and can create its own problems. If you don't know the person, act like you don't speak their language. While I was traveling in Leipzig as a college student, got approached by a weirdo who said something to me in German, so I shook my head and tried to leave. He then said in English that he wanted me to buy him alcohol, so I panicked and said solo hablo español. I only speak Spanish. It was a gamble, but it worked, and he shrugged and walked away. Yo, I was once approached by a sketchy stranger in Paris. He started speaking in French, and I was like, no French. So he started speaking in English, and I said no English. So he started speaking in Spanish, which I speak, and I was like WTF, let me go, and proceeded to escape silently. I start signing at them. I can read lips and hear some, but sometimes I'm lazy, especially if I don't have my hearing aids in, and just don't want to talk to them. Confession, my favorite people to do this to are delivery drivers or people who show up at my house randomly. They will come up to the door, which has a huge window, and start talking, and I'll just start signing back. It makes them super uncomfortable, and then they leave. Hahaha. The entire time I was reading this, I thought signing said singing. I couldn't stop laughing. Hey, I'm bored. Let's play the quiet game. I like this lol. Moonwalk away awkwardly. And wave and say goodbye in a fading voice. Look them dead in the eye and say I'm sorry, I just chiz myself. Really? Wait, no, it was just the way it feels talking to you. Make out with them. The covered way. This click, which I use with my patients all the time, Jeffrific. That's a good one. I need more like these to get out of part rooms too. Piss on his shoes to air dominance. Like a meerkat? Lawful answer, say you have a pressing prior engagement and end with well have to catch up when I'm not so busy. Chaotic answer, chiz yourself. Chaotic good, I have to see a man about a dog. Chaotic neutral, hey what's that over there? Then walk away quickly. True neutral, why are you telling me this? Chaotic evil, chiz yourself. Lawful evil, I'm not interested in that. Say, can I be excused from this conversation? That's may I. Your mother raised you better than this. Say hold that thought and wander off, and you simply forgot you were in a conversation if they ask. Did you hold that thought? But, keep holding it. Dude, if you don't like them just tell them. It's better than thinking you have a super good friend, just to find out they are just talking you behind your back. But has my coworker so this doesn't work. I do like him, has just so ducking talkative. I play the oh shoot game. Oh shoot, I totally forgot I told Sarah I would send her that spreadsheet. Or oh shoot, I forgot to pay my tab. Usually when you stop someone dead in their tracks to do something else, they tend to wait until they are re-engaged to start talking again. This is the most workable one I have seen so far. It's good too because you can interrupt them mid-sentence with a loud gasp and surprised expression and apologize and they'll be all OMG, no, go do your thing. Be honest. Say that you can't do this right now. Be nice and be strong. People want and need boundaries. People tend to love their own boundaries and hate others' boundaries. Tell him there's an Easter egg hunt going on and you would both be more useful if you split up. Tries this in the middle of December. Pick your nose actively and wipe the budges on their shirt. Bruh, I'm gonna follow this thread because no matter what I do this person is such a dense cabbage that he won't stop texting me. I'm clearly uninterested and not responding, but he won't stop texting. Can't block him, has a friend/acquaintance amount of ideas. I've literally just ended convo a million times. Left on read, didn't respond for a week. Like be friends, but stop texting me all the time. I've had a few of these friends. I found responding with non-sequiturs helps. They text about their day, respond with a pic of a squirrel eating a Cheerio and nothing else. Find yourself up at 2 am. Send a cartoon gif. Oh, definitely send long think piece articles. Soon enough they don't want to hear from you and won't risk texting you. Silent contest. 3, 2, 1 silence. When I was a kid my parents used to play a game with us called Mildew. Whoever could do the best impression of Mildew won. Guaranteed 30 to 90 seconds of silence, and if we were feeling extra competitive someone might even get a nap out of it. No idea how we fell for that for so long. Slowly and gently bring your finger up to their lips and firmly press, in a shushing gesture, all while smiling politely and maintaining strong eye contact. Then back away while holding eye contact. This is oddly sensual. Say oh that's interest, oh my god I forgot things. Oh that's intero, no what? I forgot to lock the gates to Varkensmheld and forgot to tell Betty to batten down the hatches for the coming rainstorm runs off what? looks out window, sees you getting in a massive wooden sailboat with cannons in the nearby river and sailing off to the north. What? And that would be how you would successfully make a person think you are either an actual person from a different time period, insane and eccentric billionaire who for some reason has a boat with cannons. Just say oh, then stand up and Fabriz your chair. They will quickly find a polite way to leave. Sniff sniff snee heavenly. I'm not like other guys. D. Buy a fake ring. Like obviously fake. I talking dirt cheap like those mood rings that adjust to all fingers. When they get talking, stop what you're doing and look deeply into their eyes and don't break eye contact. If they ask you what's going on, cut them off mid-sentence, drop your voice an octave so it sounds dreary, and say this ring used to be my wife's. We had a horrible accident on the way to Minnesota years back. The snow buried us alive, and I had no choice but to eat bits of her to survive. She was into it, you could say. That fetish word sums it up, I'm pretty sure. Whatever the kids are calling weird acts today, if you don't shut the duck up, I will slow cook you and bring you as much my contribution to my family potluck next spring. Then go home and get some ice cream and prepare yourself to spend the rest of your life in prison. Do a partially eaten ring pop instead. Give one word answers. It's one way to show you're not interested in talking. Edit. Remove the word polite. As someone who's not good with social cues, this one actually doesn't feel polite to me. Usually it takes me a while longer than most people to catch on, and I'll let the conversation go on for too long, and by then I feel really embarrassed and hurt. It's not something I do on purpose, I just don't realize they're not engaged until it's too late. I would rather someone just be honest and say, hey, I'm sorry, I need to get back to whatever they're trying to do now. I hope this isn't rude, but I don't feel like talking right now. I'm sorry. It has worked for me. Be direct. Honestly, this is so much more polite than silence and bored looks. Create a distracting explosion some distance away, preferably behind the other person, so that when you walk away from them, you become a superhero and walk away from the explosion at the same time. If possible, just say, excuse me, I have to use the bathroom. This answer is ridiculously far down the page. Sorry, must go. I think I left the cat on. Depending on the situation, you're under no obligation to be polite. If it is a friend or family member, okay, but people get killed and raped because they want to be polite. Someone starts to approach you at the gas pump, they are not worried about politeness. Just shout something that gets everyone's attention on them. People everywhere that are trying to take advantage of you are depending on your politeness for opportunities to push their will on you. If it's someone you have to socialize with, I say, be honest but firm. This 4 AM walking home from the club just slightly tipsy if at all, and this dude tries chatting me up. First I say I don't speak that language. Messed up by saying it in English instead of some other less known language. He's asking me where I'm going, what I've been doing, where I live, where my friends are. Short non-specific answers. Then just telling him I don't want to talk and I want to walk alone. Then we are passing by a bit darker place near some construction and I just start yelling at him to leave me alone and that he's being rude and I don't want to talk because I got scared then. Right on the corner of the construction site there was a cafe and a bunch of older men sitting drinking coffee and smoking. All they had to do was look up at me and see I was uncomfortable. The creepy dude bolted immediately. Those men had so much more power than me in that moment. It was wild. No one said anything to him. No one got up. They just looked at us and it was done. I saw a couple walking across the square I was at and apologized for being rude, but asked them if we could walk together a bit because of creepy dude. They were so understanding and walked with me until we split near the road I lived on. You do not owe anyone your politeness, especially if you're uncomfortable or scared. Definitely do not be polite, be mean, be rude, be angry even if they say you're overreacting and they just want to talk. Trust your intuition. Minimally participate in the conversation. Give responses that reflect your lack of interest for the conversation. Don't add anything. Give the shortest non-committal answers, or the conversation is over once they stop talking, etc. If they're the kind of person who will talk to a blank wall, you'll need to be upfront and tell them their conversating is too draining for you. My work has been considerably light since the whole covered deal, but I still need to be there 40 hours a week in case something comes up. Essentially, I'll have multiple hours of sitting in the office browsing Reddit, playing Nintendo Switch or watching movies, all of which are acceptable as long as I get my chiz done and don't distract anyone from getting their chiz done. My supervisor will often see me and or my coworkers in passing, stop by and start talking about something with the illusion of brevity. This, however, turns into 30+ minute awkward one-sided conversations as she drones on about obscure references and other things that we are clearly not interested in, and we nod, chuckle and mmhmm in response. We feel bad because we don't have anything productive to do and we are on the clock, so we don't have any good excuses to not talk to her. But it would be really nice to spend those gaps doing something entertaining. This ended up longer than expected. Guess I needed to rant. Well, I'm afraid it'll have to make a call / get some work done. We can chat a bit tomorrow. The odd 2-minute conversation while getting a cup of coffee or picking up papers from the printer builds up a lot of goodwill in the workplace without much effort, provided you can deftly end it when you've finished. Make them not want to talk to you. Hey, I got some stuff I gotta do, so see you later. Most seem to understand I'm being polite and we are not hitting it off. It happens. Not everyone is meant to be best friends. Lack of connection happens. Literally run away. Say with a sudden heavy accent, this is same as what this man say to me in the old country. I kill him after. But is no worry, I did my time. Pretend you can't hear them until they say never mind because they think you're deaf and too annoyed to repeat it for the 5th time. I actually wouldn't recommend this. I'm mostly deaf and people can get really aggressive when they think you're ignoring them. I can't even tell you how many times I've been told by my husband that people are yelling at me or calling me a bitch. And one dude even followed me for 2 blocks just yelling at me for being rude. I didn't even notice until he caught up to me and started screaming in my face about how I'd dropped something. It was a pen, and he was trying to give it back. He ended up throwing it on the ground and crushing it under his foot. So, yeah, this has never actually worked for me. Pull out a banana, take a look at it, and then say sorry, I have to take this, before answering it like a phone. Fart. It's not rude if it's a natural bodily function, is it? Honestly, I've actually done this to get a guy to stop hitting on me, and then I kept farting. Thank God for potato gas. A good example from Father Ted, Father Dowgle. Did you ever see that film, Ted, where your man has his head transplanted onto a fly, and the fly's head was transplanted onto the man? Father Ted. Oh, yes. What was it called? Father Dowgle, out of Africa, I think. Anyway, your man has the head of the fly and he's chasing his wife all over the place and she's hiding the jam and everything, so he won't get stuck in it. Father Ted, I'll have to stop you there. Dowgle. Father Dowgle, yes. Ted? Father Ted, no reason. I just have to stop you. Go to sleep. Light them on fire. It depends on the situation. If you are doing something and someone is talking to you, just say, I'm sorry but I'm a bit busy right now. How about we continue this conversation in a bit? Then at that point just don't engage them any further, and if they ask you anything about it, just admit you forgot. More likely than not they won't call you out on it, or try to find you again to continue the conversation, as more likely than not, the conversation was only good because it was being done in that specific time. I was hoping for some tips. All I got was 6 packs from laughing too hard. I lost myself when I saw pee on their shoes to show them dominant thread. Sir, close the door in your way out. For work, I have a humorous sign about how busy I am that I put out on my desk on really busy days, so not to wear out its effectiveness. It's worked pretty well too. When I first started doing it, it had the opposite effect by people stopping to tell me how cute they thought it was. I almost stopped using it, but once the novelty wore off people respected. When it was up I was serious. I've also perfected the art of typing furiously and dramatically, looking with intensity back and forth between my screens. Few things are more annoying than, man, you sure do look busy. I really want to respond with yeah, ducker, then why are you talking to me? But I've settled for gently conditioning them with mild annoyance and distracted response, followed by a half-hearted apology intended on making them feel awkward enough not to interrupt my busy moments. It's an art form. Most are trained now, but now I'm moving to a new shift and have to start all over. Could I have a few minutes to think over what you said? I banged your mom. Say hey man, shut yo bitch, you're up, I don't even wanna talk to you, works every time. Staple some staples into your own hand whenever you want and just say sorry, but can this wait? I gotta go to the hospital. This is why I always keep my trusty pocket stapler. Sorry, me no speak the English. Try and talk them into a pyramid scheme you're making money from. Join a cult. I like spaghetti. Is there a cult for that? Press X to chiz pants. Just start coughing. Have you heard the good news about Jesus? If it is an Uber or Lyft and the driver won't shut up, then put on your headphones. If you are in a social setting like a party or a bar, then you should just introduce them to someone else and keep bringing people into the conversation until you are not the center of focus. At that point, go to the bar or bathroom and then find someone you want to talk to. If it is an office setting, then you should look them dead in the eyes and tell them you are interested in what they are saying, but you are having trouble with your work. Get them to show you how they would do it and ask them to explain it in the most technical and mundane way possible. They will come to associate you with more work. If it is your friend, then tell them the truth. Ask them to do something for you. They will find a way to end the conversation. I have a chatty desk mate at work. I had to start saying I had so much to do, I really need to concentrate, and putting headphones on. Blamed the office in general being too noisy. I think she got the message because she barely speaks to me now. Hey, I'm sorry, I have to go. Fill in blank. I will talk to you later. Respond in sign language. Would you excuse me? I cut my foot before and my shoe is filling up with blood. Talk about the skier and how they visit you at night, waiting for you to join them. Start masturbating then and there. It ain't rude, he will either stop talking and get out of the place, or he gets into it and stops talking. You might die though. Not trying to be rude, but I got some things I want to do and don't really feel like talking anymore. Kiss them. I tried dropping a pen one time. It kinda puts a stop to a tiring conversation. It worked. My wife and I have been together 10 years, so as anyone who has been in a relationship that long knows, you pretty much have heard all their good stories by now. So we have a system that, whenever the other party is retelling a story that we don't want to hear again, we can yell repeat and it ends there. No hard feelings, no questions asked. It works for us. Stfununt. Oh my, you watched until the end? That's fucking awesome, dude. Thanks for watching.